first of all, this is already bad because I'm not supposed to be driving and doing anything additional. But I wanted to come on here because out of this entire weekend, this is the only time I had to do this. Like, behind the wheel. Hello. It's dangerous. But I wanted to say hello to everyone. And you know what? I really just wanted to thank my shape high. I like to call it shape high. Pisces moon. 11/11. 11/11/11/11. For shouting out my page. I am very new to YouTube. I created this page like 2 years ago for makeup videos. No time. So, you know, through much transition as life always has to offer, some things kind of make room for others. Your gifts make room. And I've just been all over the place. But I wanted to thank my shape high for, like I said, leaving a link on her page and just describe a little bit of why I decided to take the route of using YouTube to reach out to people. I basically am a person that, like many, going away, which I'm guided. I know she introduced me as a twin flame intuitive, if I'm remembering this correctly. And there's truth in that. There's also, I was explaining more to her in details, like a textbook. Guess who's not posting that? Helps enough. But what I have learned just in the course of the years of helping my friends, family members, myself, is that it's bigger than just being a twin flame. I worry about your soul. I always been like that. Like, I worry about the outcome of your soul. Most of what I talk about has to do with those changes that are too hard to describe, like the things that you go through on the inside. You have to, in order to, let's use this as an example. In order to meet your twin or to be in union with your twin, full union, you have to be in full union with yourself. You are the most important thing. I say this all the time. I say it to my kids, my girlfriends all the time. And we're always taught that caring about yourself is a form of selfishness. And so people give more than what's required of them, and it leaves them feeling empty. So a lot of what I talk about has to do with those deep things within your soul that cause you to constantly go through the same shit with different people and not being able to see your way out of it. You know, self-reflection. When you meet your twin, that's really just your opposite. You're meeting the other version of yourself. You're meeting the other half of yourself. Depending on how you agreed to be here with your twin before you came down here is one thing, but getting your soul right is another. One can't happen without the other. You know, we're a collective. We have to be able to become one. And you can't practice becoming one with somebody else if you can't become one or become honest or become upright with your own damn self. It just does not, it literally does not make sense. So the things that I talk about, and you know, I'm a mother, right? I got a whole lot of kids. And I'm about to become a grandmother. Oh my God. So, look, it's just, some of the things that we've been taught have been taught, I believe, with holes, missing information, you know, things of that nature. It's almost like they've been taught in ways to keep you stuck. But I you know, it's just been time to unstick. It's just the methods and how we're taught don't teach us how to unstick. It teaches you how to stay stuck. This is why you repeat certain patterns. I've repeated certain patterns. And you don't, you know, you learn from the mistakes that you make. I think that if you haven't learned from any of the errors or any of the mistakes that you've made, then it's not a mistake yet. It's a habit. You know, when you mistake, you learn from your mistake. You take from it what you need in order to make yourself better, right? So that's all the context of, you know, the things that I share. To take a deeper look, go deeper, because there's always, look, we live in a place where there's an ocean and there's a galaxy. Depth is all around us, like it's always there. So that's the point of view, or the angle that I come from. The way that it ties into the twin flame, I just partially kind of explained that, is, you know, becoming one with yourself and loving yourself fully with unconditional love is like completely monumental. Like that is the journey. That's it. And a lot of people are coming to know that now. What was I just saying? Oh my God, this is why you shouldn't drive in video. I met Shay, and she did a reading for me, and I felt like she was just a fly on the wall. The way she explained everything in detail, I was like dizzy. I was like, what? And she'd already did that with the reading on YouTube, and I was like, maybe I should have her do one on me. Because it wasn't until a couple years ago that for the very first time I had somebody do one on me. And when she did it this time, she was very, 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 like, she used this comment to say, I don't want to sound like I'm sitting on no soapbox. And I just feel like, well, did you have the popcorn watching my life when she sent me my reading? Because it was way too detailed. But anyway, she was spot on. And I was like, you know, as aggravated as I was getting with a lot of things, because I met my twin in 2016, and when I went through that first breaking, I was introduced to so many different concepts and so many different things, so many things that brought light after being broken. It's like you have to be broken open to be brought to your light, in a way. I heard somebody the other day on a different video talk about a volcano that erupted, and these flowers that haven't bloomed in years bloom because the erosion and all of the things taking place in the soil caused the seeds to pop open, and the flowers just started to bloom. Never seen them before. I plan on Googling that today to find out what these flowers are. I was just listening to this last night, and I thought that was very, very dope. Like, and that's the whole thing. And you know what? I did a video. I haven't posted it yet because it's like an hour long. First of all, I was half asleep. I was distracted because I was making some earrings, and it was just way too slow. So I'm gonna try to shrink it and talk about it here. And you know what? It ties right into this comment I just made about the flower. I had a dream in 2015, right? That the sun was in the sky. I was in a house at the time. In real life, I was living in my apartment, and I was in this transitional state. I was going through one transition. 2015 was weird, and just when I thought it couldn't get any weirder, 2016 got weirder, and then 2017 got weirder. Anyway, in 2015, I had this dream. I was inside of a house, and I looked out. You could see the skyline when you get to the second floor and the third floor of this house. I looked out the window, and I could see the sun. When I looked at the sun, there was a huge orb coming from around the sun. It almost looked like it was equivalent in size, but it just moved very slowly. And the beam, the light, the way it was beaming, it was almost like it was giving off an iridescent, like, but it was still blazing and glowing like the sun. And it was doing like this this floating going, you know, back and forth. It was kind of weird. I don't know if it was writing something in the sky, but I don't know. But it was lowering. No matter how, you know how when something gets closer to you, it gets bigger. No matter how low or closer this thing seemed to have gotten, it remained the same size. It was completely weird. Anyway, when it got to a certain height in the sky, it let out a vapor, right? It let out a smoke. It completely blanketed the entire earth. When it was speaking to me in my dream, it was telling me that everybody can see this. Every single person can see it. And I was just like, what? And so when I saw the smoke come into the house that I was in, it literally covered every single inch of the house, like the grass, you know, going down the steps. You know how you go down the steps, through the chimney hole in the top. And then I just started seeing the inside of other people's houses. You know how when you're inside of a dream, you'll see yourself standing in multiple places at one time. So it was kind of like that. And in the house that I was in, it was literally covering everything. It came through the window. The window was cracked, so the screen, you know, the glass part of the door, I'm sorry, the window was closed, but you know, the screen was exposed. And the smoke came through the screen. It just covered everything. And it wasn't until afterwards, long story short, that was God's vapor. This has everything to do. It was God's vapor of unconditional love is what it was. It has everything to do with the way people are now coming into the awareness that they have met or have been with their twin flame or cross paths with them. It's not to say that people haven't met them before and didn't know, but a lot more people are really boldly coming to the awareness of this journey. And what it means is there are so many things that you know, as a collective unit, regardless of color, race, religion, that we were supposed to be doing to teach each other how to love unconditionally. We haven't been doing it. So it's almost like Spirit is saying, okay, well, y'all won't do it. I done gave y'all chance after chance. Y'all done rebirthed and had these kids, and y'all still not teaching them the way. So I'm going to do it now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to release my unconditional love. And what unconditional love is going to do is remove anything that's not of its likeness. So when this vapor comes, is to re-soil what we've already been given. Is to make sure that whatever grows out of this current soil that we're in does so in a place where it cannot be moved. That's it. That's why it's really important for people to operate in their authenticity. And this is the time that we're in. So as you come to this awareness, it's not good for you to run from it. It's best for you to run towards it, because you're going to be forced to deal with it regardless. You know, the unearthing of a lot of things are going to be interrupted. Things that weren't built on love are going to be tumbled over, because that's just not what it's supposed to be. It falls right in line. I was raised Christian, and yeah, I got into tarot, and no, I don't want to hear anything about people saying anything about mixing stuff and mixing this and mixing that. You mix seasonings, don't you? You mix salt and pepper, don't you? Shoot. You mix salt, pepper, and salad dressing, don't you? Don't you talk to me about content and this, that, and the other, and mixing stuff, because I don't want to hear it. And plus, I already had this discussion with my mom, so if I talk to her with my mom and it's okay, I don't want to hear it. My mom's an evangelist. And I explained to my mother, she know I've always been this rebellious, wide thinker, you know. And I told her, I said, I don't know why I'm being guided this way, Mom, but you know I'm not going to turn away from it. I'm a person that likes to educate myself, and as long as I feel like it's going to benefit not just me, but help the people around me, I'm going to figure it out. She's like, well, okay, Jennifer, just be careful. I'm going to be praying for you. I know. And I know that the only reason she's saying all the stuff that she said is because she cares. She's not going to say it if she didn't give a shit. So, that being said, with all of the different things that are going on right now, all of this tying in together, all of it makes sense. You're really just being given or passed the opportunity to get things right within yourself and within your surroundings. Everything, maybe not in a day, but shift your heart in a position to want to be less burdened. That's an easy way, a simplified way to put it. Point your heart in a position to desire that. Because if you sit here and say that you want all of these great things, and underneath you got this underlining energy of hating and a bunch of bullshit, then that's exactly what you're going to reflect, and what you reflect is what you get back. So I think it's very wise for people to jump on this bandwagon of just being honest and forthcoming and forthright, and just get some stuff off of your chest so that you don't have to carry it around. There's nothing worse than having that type of weight on your chest for nothing, when you can just talk. It's worse. Have it just sitting there for nothing, no reason at all. I don't know if that's all I wanted to say. It probably is not. But for the most part, I wanted to just, say thank you to everybody that subscribed, and explain why you may or may not see me flip a tarot card. At this point, I have 14 decks. A lot of people, only people that knew I had tarot cards are people that, I didn't blend that well, are people that have come to my house and seen them, or people that I've said it to, which haven't been many. Because I'm not trying to put on no show. I'm not, and I say that because when people see tarot, they think, oh, it's time for fortune telling, and they take stuff for granted. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that a lot of the YouTube personalities are doing. It's a lot of truth in those cards. They're used for guidance, and this is not a game. Like, it's not a toy. So I'm carefully walking into this because this is new to me. And just like people will say, oh, you can't believe in those cards and da 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 da. It's a piece of paper with script on it. What's not to believe? I'm sorry. I don't see anything guiding me towards hate. Why can't I read the card? It's no different to me than how a Christian person will read a Bible, or a person that practices Islam will read a Quran. So when you're being spiritually guided, you move towards the things that will help you blossom. And that's it. You really don't even need to explain anything further than that. That's just what it is. So this is the point that I'm at in my life right now, and I absolutely love it. Because all it did was open up more. All it did was, I would have been stagnant had I stayed just in this one place. And I told my mom before, I said, Mom, I don't know what's wrong with people where they feel like if they pick up one thing, then they must put down the other. Like, you're not trading. We're not one thing. It's so much information out here. We are so many different things. And you really think that if you live on this one thought, this one way, but you want constant change, you, like, what? You think that's it? I don't discount God, Jesus. I don't turn down any of that to have my light grow in other places. I bring it with me. That's the purpose of learning anything. You're supposed to take all of them tools. You are supposed to tie them together. That's why I'm be hearing people say, and they was like, oh, you can't mix it, you can't. This is not a mix. You thinking that way because you're thinking separation. I'm thinking unity. It all has to do with the way that you think about things, the way you see things. If I say we are one, then why am I delivering separation? Where's how are you better than? How are they better than? What? No, we're not having a conversation. One of my closest friends right now is also on a twin flame. What's a flame? Anybody know what a flame is? A twin flame journey, right? She was raised Christian and converted to Islam. And I love her to death. Like, the way we conversate, it's just like, where have you been all this time? There have been a lot of people that I had to move away from Because for one, it didn't really have much more to do with them. It had so much to do with me needing the space and the time to get my mind right without interference and distraction. A couple pain patterns caused some separation too. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm oblivious to that. No, that happened too. But it's not the focus on the negative. You know, you separate sometimes to focus on yourself. And when you're focusing on yourself, that's not the time to bullshit. Like when you are separating from people because they got on your nerves is a waste of time. Because if you plan on being around these people again and you haven't changed anything about yourself, your structure, your desire, your innermost, then them people just gonna get on your nerves again, if not worse than they did before, because nothing about you has changed. So I'm just trying to figure out what this car next to me is doing, because this just made me mad. I'm already driving and making a video. Like, this is enough. Oh my God, she pulled up right next to me and is driving at the same speed that I'm driving. And I put my signal on and she act like she ain't safe. Anyhow, what I was saying was, one of my closest friends now, Islam. Now, the fact that she's going through this journey, this just points to the fact that this twin flame journey has everything to do with unconditional love. It has nothing to do with religion, race, sex, and all of those tiny, tiny things that we put in the way to build walls between each other. It has everything to just do with love. And it's so crazy because I remember when I joined Facebook, oh my God, you know how it's a merging lane to the right? She's going straight. She's sitting right in the lane. There's enough room for her to move up and for me to go. And she really is just sitting here. Anyway. Okay, so when I joined Facebook, it asks you your name, your age, your race, your sex, your religion. I put love in there. I always felt like love was a religion. I always felt, you know, I used to get on my uncle. My uncle is a minister. So my mom's an evangelist. My uncle's a minister. I used to get on my uncle. He used to kick me out of his study because my questions were so wide as a child. They was just so all over the place. I needed answers. And I get them now as I grow as an adult. And I think it's the best thing ever. It's like, you know, when you're younger and your mind is not really tainted by all of these adult worldly things, you think from a pure place. And your thoughts and your processes are really coming from the place where you originate from before you came down in this human womb. That's where all that stuff comes from. All these movies and all this stuff that y'all watch, y'all think that's fake? It's not fake. It's real. It's just it's somewhere. It comes from somewhere. When you see it, it resonates. It makes sense. It makes you feel good. It brings you to a place of blissfulness. You're gonna try to say that that's not real? I bet you got real happy when you saw the end of a good movie. What? You make it turn it into forms of entertainment so that you can be thrown off by it and you don't think that it's real because it's in TV as a form of entertainment. But I always had this belief system that in every lining, in every joke, there's a sheer line of the truth. There's a silver line of the truth somewhere. It comes from somewhere. So I always had these big questions, big deep questions. My uncle, all right, Jennifer, now get out of here. You done asked enough. You know, that kind of stuff. I ain't care. I needed to know. But that has never left. That's how I am to this day. And now going through this journey completely makes sense because it's always been that for me. Love is the most important thing. It's the only thing. Like, that's it. There are two things that we function from: love and fear. That's it. Not even hate. Because hate is just, it's like an upside down version of love. Hate sometimes can be, you know, twisted up in jealousy. I'm going to say that video for another day. I don't even want to talk about that right now because I did that last year and I never posted the video. So maybe we'll revisit that. And I probably said a whole bunch of stuff in this short video, but I just wanted to give a baseline. So when you hear me say certain things or if I'm talking, or if my volume is at 100 because I'm saying something, I'm, you know, being real passionate about it, you know, drop a couple F-bombs and S-bombs and stuff somewhere, you know, I want you to know the place it's coming from. We got to get our shit right. Like, it's mandatory that your soul be right and saved. Obviously, this goes beyond religion, you know. Another story for another video for another day. But this goes beyond all of that. This goes beyond race. This goes beyond color. This goes beyond all of those things that we think mean so much. It has to do with most of the things that we discount, like culture, you know, and how our belief systems really are all the same. Like, I remember a long time ago when I worked in a nursing home, there was 2 Christians, one Muslim, 2 Muslim, one, what? Was he Muslim? I don't know, one was definitely Muslim for sure. Catholic people. Anyway, it was a good pot stew. What? Oh my God. Mix of religions in the kitchen, right? And one day everybody started arguing about religion, and I felt like I was standing in a whirlwind. And this is why I don't argue about religion, and this is what I said, because it's bullshit. It don't make sense. Like, if the purpose of you girding and having and building your faith is to point to love in God, what is the problem? All right, like, are you really going to sit here and try to tell me that this religion is better than that one when all of it is pointing to God and love anyway? Yeah, I do believe religion is used as a form of control, a control mechanism to guilt people into feeling bad about certain things. But when you just understand love and all that it has to give, you don't have to feel guilty about loving God or anybody. I don't give a shit who they are. I don't care what they practice. We have so much in common, me and my newest, closest friend. And we've been friends. Okay, we haven't been this close ever. I've known her for years. But the likeness sometimes of the things that you go through, and it's not a miserable standpoint, all of it has to do with love, and all of it points you right back to God, which is the best part of this whole thing. And people, like, they just thrive on separation and, oh my God, oh, we can't see, you can't sit with us, and all this other shit. I don't have time for none of that. I just love the fact that it's bringing people of so many different denominations and different backgrounds closer, because all of it has to do with love, and love doesn't have a color. Love doesn't have one color. Love is every color. It's every color. It's a hue. What do you think that rainbow is? What do you think it represents? It's all of the chakras. You sit there and you look at it and you're like, oh my God, it's a rainbow after the water. Hello? Oh my God, all of it is relative. It drives me nuts how this hasn't been put together over time. It drives me nuts. But anyway, I hope that I can help put it together for you. I'm about to get off this phone because I'm on 309 right now, and I'm not having it. Okay? I'm not going to be on here all long. But I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining the channel, for subscribing to the channel. Please tell other people. I made a video talking about the towers, because I did do a card pull on that, because there was this energy of towering energy. Towering energy is not always negative. Towering meaning some things just must come down so that they can be rebuilt. So you shouldn't feel threatened by things. Oh my God, that's just another video for another day. Feeling threatened by things because people put so much negative light towards things that you don't think there's a positive thing there. I gotta get off of this, because if I sit here, I'm gonna be here all day. And plus, I said I was getting off a minute ago because I'm driving on the expressway, and I really gotta speed, and I can't speed with this phone in my hand. Okay, because I don't want to be late. And this car in front of me is driving like Grandpapa. So I gotta go. I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.